What is up, guys? Alright, I'm here with another new video, and as y'all can see, man, today's video, bro, we're gonna be talking about, or I guess covering, the first two games of the NBA season, man. The NBA season happened yesterday, or the first two games happened. I know we had the preseason, and I really wasn't talking about the preseason. I really haven't done videos in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, so, I just thought I said season started. Let's go ahead and start back in on the video grinds, man. But before we get into it, I just do want to say, man, we just to say who played and just talk a little bit about like kind of what happened, because I know I'm gonna talk about like changes that both teams need to make from the Bucks and the Nets, and then from the Lakers and the Warriors, or talk about how good both of the teams were. But we also got to take a moment and realize what type of games we saw yesterday, and we saw the Nets versus Bucks, where it was a weird game with the Nets versus Bucks. I mean, the Bucks were pretty much up the whole game, and then the Nets kind of started fighting back around the third quarter, early third quarter, late second half, and I started seeing it. I mean, I said second half, I mean first half, and we started seeing that, and I was like, okay, and then it just like the end stretch for the Bucks in the fourth quarter was just like boom, and the game was just like, it was over. And one thing that I did notice from this Nets Bucks game was that Giannis, he looks like he's been trying to become a better shooter. And if you watch his form, I didn't see a lot of people talk about it. If you watch his form, it looks a little bit more pure. As I'll put up a shot on the screen right there of a three-point shot from last night. That shot, it looks pure. Like, it looks like he's shooting. You know what I mean? And one of the biggest things about Giannis Antetokounmpo that I always had skepticalism with is that, you know, Giannis has been a Finals MVP. He's won a championship now. That once you win a championship and get a Finals MVP and have a 50-point double-double to close out the NBA Finals, it makes you like, you go from being a superstar player in today's NBA to being the top 20 player all time. Like, or I'm not saying that he's a top 20 player of all time, but that's like, you know, that's the type of the field that you're in, you know what I mean? That's how you get up there, by doing stuff like that, you know. And one thing that I've always been skeptical about is, like, how does Giannis get into the top 10? How does Giannis become? And one of the biggest things that I was always wondering was about his shooting, and that shooting is looking very good. KD had a good game as well. And then you look at the Warriors-Lakers game. We'll briefly talk about this one as well. I mean, what a game. The Lakers were basically leading the whole game until, like, middle fourth quarter, and then the Warriors just had a surge. It was, like, a big surge. And it was a surge that I love. You know, I'm a Warriors fan. You see my Warriors pillows here? I have a Steph Curry poster right up there, but I can't show it to you right now because the camera's facing towards me. But if the camera was over there, you'd see it, right? And one of the big things about me being a Warriors fan is I'm not a bandwagon, for one. Bandwagons tend to be delusional. They're very delusional. So bandwagons are delusional. I'm not a delusional Warriors fan, and I can tell you, like, if I believe the Warriors are going to win the championship and they have a shot. And this is one thing I will say. I don't know if I believe fully that we will win the championship. I'm not like a Bucks fan saying that we're gonna win the championship this year, but I do believe we'll make the playoffs, and I do believe if Klay Thompson is above 80%, that we could go pretty far into these playoffs, man. The Warriors ended up making that surge in the fourth quarter, middle fourth quarter, and then they just took the lead. Steph had a 20-point triple-double. JP had a 20-point game. Had Bielitsa giving you 15. Had Otto Porter, and he wasn't playing great on offense like we thought. Like, in the first game, I was thinking, like, double-digit type of guy. He didn't do that, you know, but he played a good defense, and then you had Iggy making his shots. I mean, Iggy was playing pretty good, and you know, everybody came together. Steph had a 20-point triple-double, but it didn't define the game because Steph didn't have 35, and that's kind of what happened last year. If Steph had a 20-point game last year, we immediately lost, so the game wasn't defined on Steph's 30, and that's one of the good things. But yeah, let's go ahead and start talking about the Lakers. I'm gonna start off by talking about them because when you think of the Lakers, what happened last night was like a lot of like I don't know how to explain it. Maybe they were pretty, like, anxious in a sense, but the Los Angeles Lakers, that team was kind of just, like, going out for it. It seemed like they were, like, pretty timid the whole game and pretty scared, so they just were doing everything they could in their will to just play better, which I don't know if I truly agree with it. But one of the biggest things about the Los Angeles Lakers that I saw last night was Russell Westbrook, and he had a bad game. And a bad game is in a sense of not even having double digits is like bad. And so one of the things that I saw last night with Russell Westbrook was that he was forcing a lot of shots. And if you look at Westbrook in the past, it's nothing new. He always, for Westbrook to score, he always has to force his shots. I've never seen Westbrook work in an offense. He's never been a player that works inside of an offense. He's a great passer, so most teams let him do his own thing. And one thing about Westbrook that I have seen that has shown is that I've said myself, and I've looked at it and I've been like, hey, if Westbrook wants to win and he wants his team to be good, he's going to have to be able to work in the Lakers' offense. Because if he's not able to work into their offense, then they're not going to be able to win. Because, see, here's the thing about Westbrook. And let me go ahead and tell you guys real quick. He is a type of guy, for him to be good, he needs to be included. Included in the sense of him being, he has to be like a main vocal point. And of an offense or of a team or whatever you want to say. But one thing about Westbrook that he hasn't done well is that, yes, Westbrook is a superstar talent. Yes, Westbrook is a 30-point triple-double MVP. But no, Westbrook hasn't won a championship. No, most of Westbrook's teammates have not loved him. Why? Because Westbrook does not run an offense. And if the Lakers want to win, they're going to either have to run Westbrook with the bench unit, which I'm not mad at if the Lakers would like to go that route. Or what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to get this man to run an offense with the starters, and I don't know how it's going to work out. But look, let's go ahead and talk about another team that lost with the Brooklyn Nets. And I just want to say this first off. The Nets, they have a lot of depth. Patty Mills, he showed a lot of depth. The Nets, people don't understand. I saw one. This has been going around the internet. At the end of the game, the commentator, he goes, "Wow, look at the two different sightings of both of the coaches. You see one coach and Mike Budenholzer at the end of the game, the Bucks, they're putting in their starters because it's only a 10-point game, and then the Nets, they're taking out of their starters and putting in their bench because they believe a 10-point game is too far, or this and that." And then it's been going around the internet about how the Bucks seem more championship ready and that they're doing this and that to make sure this and that. It really doesn't. One of the big things that I've been trying to stretch is, as far as I can, go far as you can, is it was really shown that the Nets said, Steve Nash said he was going to go 10 deep. And he hadn't been going 10 deep before this, so he was kind of just like going 10 deep at the end of the game to see. It's the first game of the season. It's not like it's like a game that decides something. It's literally the first game of the season, and he decides to take his guys out and just put somebody else in the game. Watch Chase out there, our first game one. It's not that deep. And I'm like, okay, but a lot of people don't, they're not like, okay, they're just like, no, they did this and that, so this and that, this happened. That's just like, okay, whatever. But I believe that it was just him trying to go 10 deep. He said, Steve Nash before the game said there was going to have to be an odd man out, which I am very curious about. I do want to see Cam Thomas get some minutes. I do want to see Cam Thomas be included into that offense, because I really do like Cam Thomas as a prospect coming into the draft, and now he's drafted on the Nets. So I really like him for the team possibly, and he could probably be a great player. And the Warriors had a good game, like I said. The Lakers, we saw a little bit about them. We talked about Giannis, but the Bucks, I mean, they won the championship last night, so we'll talk about them briefly. I mean, they were good, and when they're good, they're good, and that's just good for the Bucks. When they're good, and that's good for the Bucks. No confusion there, right? But no, seriously though, like when the Bucks are good, they're really just good. I mean, they're just good. I mean, they're a good team. When they play great, they're just great. It's no other way for me to explain it. It's a little confusing, but it's really not another way. I mean, when they play good, they're one of the best teams, and they just they click in all cylinders, with Drew Holiday being the defender and then the scorer, and then you have Middleton being the two-way guy, and then you have Giannis just being Giannis, doing Giannis type things, and then you got Brook Lopez, you got Bobby Portis. You just got so many great talents, and now with Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, and it's just when DiVincenzo gets fully back, I mean, it's just gonna be great. But yeah, that's where we're gonna end this video off, man, because I don't want to keep y'all for too long, man. I tried to cover most of the games, man. Look, if you like this video, man, like the video, bro. Comment, subscribe, share this video, bro. Man, we trying to grow, bro. We recently hit 60 subscribers, which is really great. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. That's the goal. You know what? Let's do it. The goal is 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Can we do it before December 31st? We gotta to see, but that is the goal now. That's the new goal. We just gotta hit 100 subscribers. That's it. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me, man.